Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and we are getting into it today. I said we were going to be doing Old Granddad next live. Gave myself just a little bit more of this Russell's 10-year LLME laser code, and this review is going to be both a review of this Russell's single barrel. This is the first one that I happen to get. And then we're also going to do a quick comparison to that Russell's 10 just because, I mean, that's really ridiculous stuff. Now, this single barrel does not have an age statement on it. No idea how old it is. It is a bit higher proof. So the Russell's 10 is 90 proof. This is 110 proof. And I would presume that it's at least 10 years old, but we really have no idea. That is not necessarily true, but it does say on the bottle that the Russells thought this barrel was just right, so they bottled it, a perfect expression of bourbon from our family to yours. So whatever the age is on it, they selected this, supposedly. So we'll see. I bought this online. Also bought this at Keg and Bottle. So all these bottles that I bought online, so this Russell's, Old Granddad, Dragon's Milk, John J. Bowman, and this Wild Turkey 101 8-year. Bought those all online at Keg and Bottle. I paid, hold on, single barrel. I paid $72.99, so $73 for this single barrel. I would say kind of in the average bourbon market, that's probably not all that far off from any other single barrel product. I know my Wyoming whiskey single barrel, I paid, don't know, but I think I paid, well, I can tell you. Here we go. Wyoming whiskey single barrel. I paid $83 for that. And that was not anywhere near as good, in my opinion. So there you go. It's not uncommon for your single barrels. I had some pretty good ones that are running in the, gosh, I might have even had a couple in like the $40, $50 price range, but most of them are going to run you upper 50s to 80s. I think you can find some really good whiskey in those price ranges, but let's get into our Russells here. So our Russell single barrel. It's sweet, it's fruity, a little bit of apricot, like dried apricot, a little bit floral. I get a little bit of cherry in there. It's almost leaning Buffalo Trace-esque in the nose floral profile, which is interesting. That's not typical of a, for me, anything Wild Turkey distillery tends to have a pretty pronounced cherry forward profile, but there is cherry in there, but it's more floral. I could almost go apple tooth. Like it is leaning Buffalo Trace profile way more than Wild Turkey, which is interesting. But it's very fruit and floral, but the sweet bits are kind of lingering around the edges and in the background. It's not really jumping out. A little bit of caramel, honey. I'm not getting graham cracker. I'm not getting peanut or peanut dust. Yeah, and the ethanol is really kind of tickling the back of my nasal passage. The very end of everything. Like I can stick my nose in there and it's not, burning my nose hair, so to speak. So it's pretty nice. This is not anywhere near as dense. Again, my gosh. I wish you could smell these because they are nowhere near each other. That Russell's 10-year is 2 times as dense and sweet as this single barrel. They don't even have a through line really that I can go, these are the same thing. They really don't. They are nowhere near the same. That being said, this still smells really good, but not anywhere near as good as that one. That is fantastic. All right, let's get it on a taste. A little bit simple. Does not drink hot. It's sweet forward. More of a literally just a light confectioner sugar, powdered sugar, a little bit of a honey drizzle up front. Kind of mid palate, you get a light apricot, light fruit kind of picking up in there. No real cherry, a little bit of oak on the back end. The heat, the proof does not come through hardly at all. That's really muted. It's a very light and delicate palate, though. This is not dense with flavor, even at that proof. It's an easy sipping bourbon, but it's not jumping out of the glass. I hate to say it, this is not something that's all that special to me. Again, no faults. I would say that this is a step up from the 8-year Wild Turkey 101 that we just had. I would say that this and the Wild Turkey 101 have very familiar roots and through lines with each other. This Russell's 10-year is something completely different. It is so interesting comparing these. It's good. It's really good, but not as good as that. And for twice the price, roughly. Yeah, it's just a much simpler palette. That time the oak kind of took over. Again, very similar to the 8-year. That oak was a little bit more bitey and came with the proof. The end of the mid palette, so it was like a little bit sweet up front. It kind of dropped off a cliff in that mid, picked back up with some oak, and it finished with an oak and a little bit of graham cracker. I mean, this and that 8-year are very, very similar. I mean, very similar. This 10-year is just on the nose alone. Dark chocolate covered cherries, just a dense, hefty, sweet, oily, and clingy. And the palate, creamy. Oh, the palate of that is outstanding and matches the nose. I would say that the nose and the palate of this single barrel match very well, but I would skip the single barrel and I would buy that 101 8-year because they're basically the same. And to be honest, this particular single barrel and that particular 8-year, the 8-year has more of a flavor profile. There's more things going on in that than there is in this particular single barrel. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. It's still good. I think you're just better off spending your money on the 8. But you can find that. Whew, you are in for a good one. So there you go. Russell's Reserve single barrel, non-age stated, 110 proof. Good, not great, not amazing. Maybe not worth $73. When I compare it to the 8-year at 40 something, the 40 something dollar bottle is a better buy. And then compare that to that, which was a 40 something dollar bottle, 30 something dollar bottle. The world is just upside down at that point. But drop in the comments down below what you can find a bottle of Russell's single barrel for in your area, what your experience is with it. Am I wrong? Hard to say. Single barrels. Single barrel products are very difficult to really do a review on that other people can rely on because there's only 200 bottles, 250, 270 bottles, something like that, 220 to 200 to 270 bottles, somewhere in that range, coming from each of those that'll have this flavor profile. So on some regards, that's probably not worth it. But then there's probably some honey barrels out there that people find of this reserve that or of this single barrel that is absolutely phenomenal. So do with that information what you will. Hopefully that is semi helpful. Um, if it were me, I would say don't have any fear of missing out or passing over this and picking up the 8 year. I think you're just as well off. So there you go. Thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day. Stay tuned. We'll catch you in the next video where indeed this time we are doing the old granddad 7 years. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you then.